Good morning, guys. Good afternoon. Happy Easter. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys spent time with your family. I hope you guys took plenty of time to get your rest this week. Uh, we're going to continue our review. The last 2 weeks we reviewed units 1 and 2. For this entire week, we're going to be reviewing unit 3 and we're going to be focusing on religions. We need to go over religions because honestly, I believe it wasn't our strongest unit. Unit 3 was focusing all about languages, cultures, and religions. And we need to understand and know a little bit more information on what's it about. For example, take a look. We need to know where religion is distributed, why do religions have different distributions, and then why do religions organize space and distinctive patterns. That fourth question that's on my slide, we're going to talk about that Wednesday. Take a look. We're going to be focusing on 5 religions, and if you look at this picture, this infographic will tell you where you will find many of the main religions. Here's the objective. We just need to figure out what led to the diffusion of universal and ethnic religions. So we need to figure out how have religions spread, and we're going to be focusing on 5. Make sure you guys pause the video so you can read the need to know. When geographers talk about religions, they talk about 2 types. They talk about universal religions and ethnic religions. Universal religions are religions that move from one location and they're trying to get bigger and they're trying to add more people to their community. They are seeking converts. They are spreading their message so more people can join their religion or join their club. And secondly, we have ethnic religions. These religions usually just focus on one group of people. For example, the Jews are one group of people, and the people from India, the Hindus, they're one group of people. Take a look at this picture. This picture will give you a little bit more information about how the religions are distributed all around the world. And we need to figure out how did this happen. This pie chart tells you the religions uh the religions around the world, like how much of the world population makes up that part of that makes part of that religion. I want you guys to take a look at this and just pay attention to where do you see which groups are the biggest, which groups are the smallest. If you look at the non-religious, that just means that they are either atheists or agnostics. So when we talk about universal religions, our universal religions are divided into branches, denominations, and sects. Branch, we have so for example, when we talk about Christianity, the branches of Christianity in Europe, there's 3 of them. They're the Catholics, the Protestants, and the Orthodox. And if you take a look in Europe, many of the Roman Catholics, you're going to find them in southwestern or eastern Europe. And many of the Protestants, you will find them in northwestern Europe. But the Orthodox branch, you will find them in eastern and southeastern Europe, closer to Russia. So if you go to Spain and France, they are closer to the southwestern and eastern Europe, and they're Catholic. But if you go to Germany or the UK, you will find mostly Protestant Christians. But let's look at the Western Hemisphere. When I say the Western Hemisphere, I'm talking about North and South America. Uh, if you look, if you go to Latin America, 93% of the Christians in Latin America are Catholic. But if you go to the United States, you will find many more Protestant churches. Take a look at this map of the United States. In the United States, we have a big congregation of Catholics, Baptists, Lutherans, Mormons, and even Methodists. These are not all the These are only some examples of some Christian denominations. And when I say denomination, I mean they're a group of Christian. Let's look into the next religion, the next universal religion, which is Islam. And the two main branches is Sunni and Shiite. If you're a Muslim, if you practice Islam, you're either in the Sunni branch or the Shiite branch. Take a look at this picture. This picture tells you where many of the Muslims are highly concentrated, which is North Africa, Middle East, and Indonesia. Finally, we have Buddhism, and it's split into three branches. The interesting thing about Buddhism, it was started by this guy named Siddhartha Gautama. He was a Buddhist monk who lived in India, and he spread his religion to China and all the Asian countries that is to the east of India. And then here's some examples of ethnic religions. The largest ethnic religion is Hinduism, which you will find in India. 90% of the Hindu population is in India. Another example of ethnic religions is there is a religion of Buddhism that combines itself with traditional Chinese practices called Confucianism, Taoism, and you will find this in Asia. And then you will also find this other ethnic religion called animism, which just believes that objects or natural events have spirits. Let's take a look. Animism is an ethnic religion in Africa that used to be very prevalent. It's an old school religion. It's very traditional. It's very the many Africans believe that the objects have spirits, but as the years have gone by, those religions have decreased. And the reason why they've decreased is because Muslims and Christians are coming over and they're taking over Africa. Finally, one of the other ethnic religions that we're very familiar with is Judaism. Judaism is the first religion that believe that there is only one God. You will find many of these Jewish people, they are, for the most part, when we talk about Jewish people, when we talk about Jewish history, they have always been persecuted. So the very famous example is Hitler. Hitler was persecuting the Jews, and so the Jews had to spread out because they were trying to survive. Many Jews will be found in the United States and in Israel. But Judaism is also very important because Christianity and Islam base their roots in Judaism. So these three universal religions that we covered, Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism, they all have a precise place and a founder. Many ethnic religions are not tied to a single historical individual, except Judaism. Judaism is an ethnic religion and it does have a historical place and it does have a historical individual. And that individual is called Abraham. But universal religions, they started at one place and they spread out naturally. For example, Buddhism was started by Siddhartha Gautama and it originated in India. Christianity was founded by Jesus 2,000 years ago in present day Palestine, Israel. And Islam was started by a prophet named Prophet Muhammad in present day Saudi Arabia. All these religions had to start somewhere, and all these three universal religions were started by somebody. These three religions started in Asia, and these three universal religions, the followers of the religions, they were the ones that were spreading the message for these three religions. And these three religions took different paths on how to spread. Take a look. Take a look and just examine this map. Pay close attention. I want you guys to notice, where did these religions start and where did they spread? Let's start off with Christianity. Christianity started right here, right in the Middle East, and it was actually spread by this guy named Paul. It was founded by Jesus, but Paul and Jesus' disciples took Christianity all through Europe. Europe used to be controlled by the Roman Empire. Take a look. All of this orange, yellow that you see here, that is the Roman Empire. Jesus and his disciples existed during this time period, and when Jesus died, his disciples would spread his message all throughout Europe. It wasn't until the 3rd century where the Emperor of Rome, Emperor Constantine, made Christianity the official religion. Ever since he did that, Christianity has been able to spread even more dramatically all throughout the world. Eventually, the Europeans were able to spread Christianity to Americas, Australias, and even New Zealand. Let's look at our second universal religion, Islam. Islam was spread by Muhammad and his successors, but they usually spread Islam in the beginning 6th and 7th century through war and through conquest. And they were able to go all the way through Africa, Asia, and even Europe. Eventually, Islam would use merchants, sea travelers, and missionaries to take Islam to Indonesia and even Africa. Take a look. The other followers of Muhammad will use war and conquest to spread Islam through the Middle East and North Africa and all the way up to Spain. Finally, let's look at Buddhism. Buddhism was actually able to spread from northern India, and a lot of Buddhism spread through trade routes, and Emperor Ashoka helped diffuse Buddhism all the way up to China and nearby Asian countries. Buddhism is not as prevalent in India, but is super prevalent in Asian countries. Make sure you guys pause, read this slide. It's going to tell you about ethnic religions. When we talk about ethnic religions, Hinduism, for the most part, just stayed in India because it just focuses on the people of India. But Judaism is a religion, is a group of people that were constantly moving from place to place because they've always been persecuted. They went through something called the diaspora, where they will continue to be kicked out by these bigger empires, and the Jewish people, in order for them to survive and for their people to survive, they would spend all their time running away like immigrants. Alright guys, thank you so much. That's the presentation for today. I need you guys to go to Google Classroom, click on the religion worksheet, and I need you to complete parts 1, parts 2, and parts 3. For part 1 and 2, all you have to do is fill out the correct religion in the box. And then once you go to part 3, it says research 2 of the 5 religions and fill out the chart using Google and your resources. Pick 2 out of these 5 religions and make sure you guys fill out this chart. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to have office hours Monday at 2 p.m. Thank you guys.